And now Superman has a crawl. I kind of like that. Think it's cool. Could be interesting. What's the crawl going to do? It's basically going to tell you the rules of the DCU. So we're going to get into that. There's some first reactions to Ironheart, including myself and Sam. Martin Kove bit somebody. Why? All that and more on the show today. It's the Kristian Harloff Show with myself and Roxy. Maybe. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. I'm not sure Roxy, I guess, is here. So we are going to be talking about lots of different things here today, guys. We're going to be discussing the Superman crawl. We're going to be talking about Ironheart. We're going to be talking about Martin Kove biting somebody. And joining me on the show today is Roxy Striar. Hello, Roxy. How are you?
Hi, Kristian. How are you?
What's the latest?
I saw F1 last night.
Oh, did you? And
Yeah.
I'm going to see it tonight.
Oh.
Likes?
You're going to love it. It's so
Okay,
good.
good.
It's so good. It's just like fun summer,
Yeah.
very much perfect. It was so good. It's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Oh, I love that. That's
What
kind
are
of
you eating?
just finished up a chicken dish. It's what I got to do. I got to run back and eat real quick and then jump up in the stream and do all that. And I made it in time. So we are excited for this week in general because F1, Jurassic World tomorrow. I'm missing I just did a reaction with Tina for the first Megan. She had never seen it before. And then the second one is tonight, the screening, and I'm choosing to see F1 over that. But I still have to save the reaction itself.
I'm supposed to go to the Megan screening tonight, but I don't think I'm going to make it there. Jurassic, none of us could get a response.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I was like, uh-oh.
I don't know. Yeah, tomorrow. It's tomorrow for that one.
I wonder if it's not very, I don't know.
It's gotten decent reactions so
Has
far.
it?
Yeah, decent. I mean, as far as like, the comparing it to like the other ones are. So the word has been decent. So we'll see.
From who? Do you know anybody who's seen it?
I mean, Perry saw, but she loves Jurassic Park. So
Yeah.
It's hard to judge. It's like, there's certain movies that people are just going to go in to dig, and she just lives in that world. She loves Jurassic Park. So, but I've seen other people, some people.
They're doing a lot of fan screenings, like a ton of fan screenings.
Oh, I saw it though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no comment.
No, I don't know. I didn't hear him talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he talked about it. He said that he said, take this as you will, but it's the best of the Jurassic World movies, not Jurassic Park, but Jurassic World movies. So he said, so we'll see. But that's the start of it. And then we get, Superman coming out right around the corner.
Yeah, I know. That's another one I'm going to see this week.
Oh, you're going to see that this week?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to because, man, there's so many things that I want to do in life.
Has that screening's come in already for you? Ish. Okay. Yeah, fine. I'm waiting to hear back. So we're waiting. But anyway, what we will see if we go to the screening itself is that Superman reportedly opens with a Star Wars inspired crawl that explains the DCU.
Whoa.
We're only a couple of weeks away from Superman landing in theaters, and it's now being reported that the DC Studios movie opens with a Star Wars inspired crawl, introducing us to James Gunn's DCU. Some sweeping changes have reportedly been made to Superman during the editing process, including cutting a day of the week structure inspired by All-Star Superman. We've also seen James Gunn seemingly take on board criticisms from fans, swapping out a shot of the Man of Steel in flight for another slightly less divisive effort. Now, details from a 30-minute footage screening overseas appear to reveal how much Gunn will introduce us to his new DCU. According to multiple attendees, we're getting a Star Wars-inspired introduction meant to contextualize the DCU. We don't expect a literal opening crawl pulled from Star Wars, though some have described it as such. Either way, it seems Gunn intends to use title cards or something along those lines to make it clear to moviegoers that Superman plays out in a new reality inhabited by superheroes. The DC Studios co-CEO is eager to make it clear that Superman isn't set in the DC EU, a world that ended with Orm eating a cockroach in 2023 Aquaman and Lost Kingdom. Not helping matters on that front, of course, is the fact that we're getting Peacemaker Season 2 this summer with the exact same cast. There is a risk that Gunn is trying too hard and that Superman will ultimately feel too busy and muddled to make the desired impact. It's hard to say when information like this is presented without context, and reviews of those 30-minute previews have been largely positive. That was perhaps to be expected when it's being screened for devoted DC fans, of course. In other news, Gunn has confirmed that Superman won't feature a nod to Superman, the movie's infamous Miss Tessmacher line said by Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor. Superman DC Studios' first feature film to hit the big screen is set to soar this summer in his signature style. James Gunn takes on the original superhero, yada, yada, yada. All right. Roxy, what do you think about the potential that this movie is going to have a Star Wars-like crawl to explain the DCU? Good, bad, who cares?
Kind of didn't sound like that when it started describing it. Like, it didn't sound like it was going to be a crawl. It sounded like it was going to be possibly, I mean, what would be smart is if they use panels, right? Like,
right.
try to do it in your own medium a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I can't picture James Gunn straight up like taking a crawl. Although if he made it look more DC like,
Yeah.
I think it's cool to kind of explain like where we're at in the world. I really liked when Wonder Woman had its opening where it kind of gave us the history of the gods and showed us visually. That kind of reminds me not of Star Wars, but of setting the scene. Where are we at? And this is the first one in the DCU. So I think that makes sense. I had heard a month ago through the rumor mill that he was taking out that day of the week's all-star Superman kind of structure. But this article seems to imply that he was putting it back in. I heard that it didn't test well, but I don't know that that's true or not. You know, you and I both
exactly. Can you explain exactly what that is?
I'm not exactly sure how that would translate onto the screen, but essentially it's like playing it out by the days of the week.
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Got it.
There's also Thursday, Kristian. There's Friday. There's Saturday. You know,
like
Sunday.
The Black song.
Yeah, it's very important for me to go through all of the days. And having it, like, it kind of reminds me a little bit more of TV, having them each be like almost like their own act structure.
Sure. Okay.
But it doesn't, everybody was relating it to All-Star Superman. All-Star Superman does not break it down to that extent. And so I don't know. I had heard that they initially tried it and then they got scrapped. But this article seemed to say that that was the plan. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll find out soon enough. And as far as the crawl itself goes, even if it is Star Wars esque, Star Wars isn't the first one to do it. They used to do that in like I think it was Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon. I can't remember. I mean, that George Lucas got that from the old school serial things that he used to watch. That didn't come from Star Wars. It just got made famous by Star Wars.
Where did it come from? Do you know, Kristian?
I want to tell you that it's Buck Rogers, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
Let me look.
Yeah, look it up. Let's see what you think. But overall, I think that it's a pretty good. I think it's fun. Look, and the other thing is not even necessarily a crawl, but as you were saying, there's been tons of movies that start off and say, "This is the world that you're living in, and this has happened, and this has happened, and now, boom." If you're going to put a crawl-esque, I mean, look, Star Wars stopped doing it. Maybe it'd be nice for people to start seeing that again. You know.
This is the AI answer to the question. The original Star Wars opening crawl was inspired by the opening sequences of the old Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers movie serials, which George Lucas enjoyed as a child. He also took inspiration from Cecil B. DeMille's 1939 film Union Pacific, particularly its use of a perspective distorted text crawl moving along a railroad track, according to Screen Rant and Wikipedia. The final crawl, that's the rest of it.
Right. And I think so I mean, bring it back. And by the way, James Gunn's a big Star Wars guy. He's a big Star Wars fan.
Would you want to see Superman in 2025 or 2000 Superman found his way to planet Earth from, like, do you want to see an origin of Superman in a text crawl? Living here with Ma and Pa Kent, his dog Crypto shortly followed.
I guess it's a matter of how much you tell me and how, I mean, like how long does it take to read the whole thing? Are we gonna get to a place where like, okay, we're reading it. That's the story. Okay, good. Let's go. Or is it like, wait, what? Okay, wait, more. Geez, just show me at this point. But I don't feel like James Gunn's gonna do that. I feel like his timing is, pretty good. So I think I like the idea. I really.
Yeah, I hear you on that. The way I said it sounded like I was like, "Do you really want to hear?" I don't mean that. I just mean like, "Do you want that?" And
I don't know yet. I guess that's the answer, Roxy. I don't know yet. It's like I know that I'm not saying, "Oh, why are they doing that?" It's like, okay, that's kind of interesting and good on them. I'm getting more and more excited for this movie. I've been excited for this movie. I can't wait to see it. I want to see what a heated conversation it was in a good way yesterday with Roca and the great Derek Johnson, who it was a big.
What happened?
Well, I told Roca I think Roca is really hard on James Gunn, and we had a whole discussion on the chat. Kind of said the same thing, but I shouldn't say the whole chat, but a lot of the chat, and we also we just had a conversation about in general about does it mean for his leadership that this is. Some people were arguing that it doesn't really mean, if even it does well, doesn't speak for his leadership. It speaks for his ability as a filmmaker, and that they don't think maybe his leadership in DC has been strong so far, which I disagreed with.
Because what?
Because it's a matter of like, it's just he's being creative as a director, he's being creative as a writer, but it doesn't necessarily mean they were arguing against it, thinking that he shouldn't have directed Superman. He should have just ran the whole thing, let someone else.
They think that makes him have weak leadership.
They don't. So there's been some people who think that in the conversation yesterday, they thought leadership was weak. I do not think that. I think
based on what I'm missing leadership week because
too long of a conversation. That's why I just said it was a long conversation. So there's just too much to go into about it. But it was a long conversation yesterday. But it was a good conversation, and my stance on it is probably the same as yours, which I think he's doing a pretty damn good job. And I think that like you asked me, what do I think about the crawl stuff? And I was like, look, you can be creative. Let's do it.
Yeah. I know you're saying it's too long a conversation, totally fine, but in general, I think it's really wild to think that somebody's not doing good at their job when we haven't seen a single thing from them yet. Like, what a weird stance. No matter who that person is, like, what do you mean? How could that possibly be a stance based on what?
Well, Derek's in the chat. I'm sure he'll give some of his opinions on that.
What could do yesterday?
Well, that's next. So right now you have 18 questions so far. We're only in one topic, Roxy. It's good. It's normally great. Roka did 164 yesterday.
Oh,
he had a great day.
I haven't won in
a while. So Roka is on the longest losing streak right now.
Am I the second longest? I must be.
I don't know. You and Steph maybe. Steph hasn't won one in a bit. Because Mike's won. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. And then, Chris Carr hasn't won one yet, but
she's new.
Capes and Cows are 4 in a row. They beat your record last week. So we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, we are talking about Superman and the Crawl. Do you guys like it? Do you not like it? What say you? Put your thoughts in there. I want to know. All right. I contemplated. I didn't know if I was going to bring the story up today. But I figured you and I could have it's such a bizarre story. And I think we could handle it in a way that I think it'll be a fun conversation, even though it's a weird story. Huh. Did you hear this Cobra Kai story?
No.
Oh my God. Cobra Kai villain Martin Kove kicked out of a fan event after allegedly biting his co-star, Alicia Hannah Kim. Kove told the police that he was being funny. Okay. Cobra Kai alum Martin Kove, known for having played the villainous John Kreese in the Netflix series and the original Karate Kid movie and its sequel, was escorted out of a fan event Sunday after biting former co-star Alicia Hannah Kim, according to police report. The document, reviewed by Entertainment Weekly, noted that Hannah Kim, who portrayed Kim Da-eun on more than a dozen episodes of the Emmy-nominated martial arts series, saw Kove when both appeared at the Washington State Summit Con in, where's it, pull up? I guess so. She stopped to say hello to him, and that's when he grabbed her and bit her, she told him. I walked past Martin Kove, tapped him on the shoulder, and said hello, and he turned around, he grabbed my arm, and he bit down hard, almost drawing blood. She explained in a handwritten statement to police. I yelped, drew back, and then he grabbed my arm again to kiss it. The actress said she withdrew to her table and told her handler as well as her husband, Sebastian Roche. I had visible teeth marks and immediate bruising and pain, she continued in her statement. We approached Martin in the green room later, and he was furious and outraged and visibly angry when I told him calmly not to bite me. He insisted he bit me for fun. Kove told police he was messing around. The officer who fled the report said the officer told the actor that what he'd done was illegal. Kove admitted to biting her arm and said he did it out of jest and he thought he was being funny, and they play fight all the time on set of Cobra Kai and didn't think it was that big of a deal. Eventually, Hannah Kim spoke to Kove and he apologized. When the actress opted not to press charges, she filed a report and her injury was documented in the case of future incidents, the officer wrote. That's enough to read out of this, but like, this is one of the most bizarre stories in general. Like,
wait, I wanted you to keep going. I asked him if he wanted to. What was that?
All right, we'll keep going. I asked him if he wanted to provide a voluntary handwritten statement, but he declined. And shaking my hand, he thanked me, as did his son. His son was very nice. Remember when we interviewed him, Rox? Quite a lot.
Yeah.
He was escorted out of SummerCon, according to the officer. Entertainment Weekly has reached out to reps for both Kove and Hannah. That's it. So it's such a bizarre story because it answers one of my questions. Because I was like, all right, what was his response? Because I didn't read the whole. I like to read the articles on air with you, so I have the same thing. I just saw the headline, and that is like, what do you say? Hey, how's it going? Good. It's like, and does he smile afterwards? Does he say yum? Like, what does he do like afterwards to make it seem like that's okay? Plus the fact, if he bit hard enough to, I mean, like, I've known you for at least 10 plus years, and we've goofed around, and I would never bite you because
but I've had people bite me before.
Friends?
Yes.
You just bite you, like, but break skin bite you?
I had one friend growing up who every time that person would see anybody who'd lick them.
Okay, that's different.
And I know many people who like playfully think they're playfully biting. Yeah. Like punch it, like what's up, biting. Right. Yeah. There's
it's just like the fact that, and then, you know, I see, you know, if it's to relate, if she felt like that was crazy enough for her, like it clearly didn't happen a lot. Play fighting might have happened on set, but not enough. It was bizarre enough for her that she went to the cops.
It's the extent of how hard the bite was that was a little confusing, because she's like, he almost drew blood. I've never had somebody like that. That doesn't sound like a play bite. That sounds like a bite. The thing that I think is, there's so many weird elements to this. The only thing that I can think of, because again, pulling from my own personal life, because guys like do this sometimes. I don't know how to describe that better, but guys like do this. They'll bite my shoulder. They're always 100% of the time drunk. I've never had a guy sober bite my shoulder. I have to assume he was drunk. I don't want to.
He's also, I mean, this is not an excuse at all. I'm just saying he's also an older gentleman who might have just been like, thinks that's okay. Maybe I don't know what the excuse is. I really don't know.
I just can't imagine a world in which he's not hammered when he did this. And then to get angry about it further and again, I don't know if this man's sober, not sober. Like, I'm not trying to out him for anything, but he had to have been drunk. And I think he had to have been then, when he got mad, like pissed drunk.
It's also no other word except, hey, how's it going? it's like no lead up to it. They're not having a play fight, and then he does it. She just goes, hey, how are you? And it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna say hi. I'm just gonna bite you, and I'm gonna bite you hard enough to where you can call the cops on me. It's like, what is?
I feel like she tried to not call the cops, but he was not acknowledging what he did. Like, it seems like her and her husband went to him and were like, that was messed up, and he was pissed. Like, and I think she was like, well, I guess I have to report this because I tried to figure this out, and he got angry.
And it's not like, they don't work together anymore, but they're gonna do more conventions like this together, and she worked with him pretty close on that show, that it would make sense that she would say, "Hey, it's Martin Kove." We would say hi, and yeah, I mean, he's a big dude, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to get bit by Martin Kove.
How come you're not acknowledging what I'm saying? Do you think he
About
did this sober?
I can't speculate on that. I don't know. It's
You think
possible.
there's a world in which he did this sober?
Yeah, I think he's a bizarre dude. I think he's a bizarre dude. I think he comes from a very different world, and I also think that you heard that, and again, shouldn't have done it. It's assault, but like that story of did you ever hear the Bill Hader story about him?
No.
There's a story Bill Hader told about him when Bill Hader was, Bill Hader before he blew up, and he drove a lot of celebrities around and stuff, and he drove Martin Kove around, and Martin Kove got him in trouble. I can't remember the extent of what it was, but he basically got him in trouble, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got you in trouble." He's like, "Let's go get a milkshake or a cookie or something like that," and he's like, "I'll go get you." He's like, "You want a cookie? You want a milkshake?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" He's like, "Right, pull over, and I'll get you a milkshake and a cookie," whatever it was. And so Martin Kove goes in, and the fact that he offered to get a milkshake and a cookie, it's like, and so then he goes out and he gets the milkshake and the cookie, and he sits in the back of the seat, and he looks at Bill Hader, and he eats the cookie and the milkshake, doesn't give him anything, and just has him take him home.
Like Bill Hader tells that story as a joke?
No, he tells him.
He's pissed about it, or he tells it like
he's a dick. Seems a real dick.
Oh wow! I'm looking him up right now to see if he has some kind of.
He was. I mean, look, I'll say we interviewed him. He was nice to us, but I mean, he's also promoting stuff. So, either way, it's look at people. Look that story up about Bill Hader and Martin Kove. It's out there, but I just said I don't know. I said this is one of those stories. This is a story that we would have covered on Collider Live back in the day, and I was just like,
yeah, this kind of stuff is strange because it's also like, what is their relationship
Right.
She did that, but clearly not good. She called the cops. You bit her, she called the cops.
Well, he has a different understanding of the relationship than she does. Right? Yeah. And I think that most people, no matter, I mean, I don't think anybody, him and Stallone are good friends. I don't think Stallone would want Martin Kove to bite him. It's also, we worked together for a little bit. Don't bite me, dude. You want to play around? Hey, look who it is. And that's it.
Also, it's inappropriate to bite anyone because it's assault. It's particularly inappropriate to bite a married person. Right. And I think she was like, my husband and I walked in there because she probably comes back with a bruised arm
and bodily fluids on her,
teeth marks, and her husband's probably like, what the fuck?
Right.
And
that's a great point. That is a great point to where, like, you come back, if my wife comes back and says, and she's just someone who's working with, and she's like disheveled, like, what happened? I just ran into Martin. Oh, cool. How's he doing? He just bit me. I go, what?
And then she shows it to you.
Right. So it sounded like you said he bit you, and then she shows you. You're like, I'd be like, let's go kick Crease's ass.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I think that's why the article very specifically was like, she was like, I was with my husband and we went to his room to be like, why'd you bite me?
Why'd you bite me? And it's like, anyway, bizarre.
Very
what do you make of this story? I know that we don't normally cover stories like this, but it was just too great as far as the story itself, not the fact that the poor woman got bit. What do you make of this? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. I love True Classic, and I really hope that you guys have been paying attention. I talked about it yesterday. I talked about it the other day, and now it's time to talk about it again. I love it. I absolutely love it. Some of my favorite, one of my favorite brands I've been involved with so far, and I'm not bullshitting you. I'll tell you about True Classic. I love True Classic. That's how I'm going to start this. I have fallen in love with them. I have so many new things, whether it comes to t-shirts, whether it is sweatpants, things I go to the gym for. I love it. I absolutely love them. At True Classic, the mission goes beyond fit and fabric. It's about helping guys show up with confidence and purpose. The gear fits right, it feels amazing, and it's priced so guys everywhere can step into confidence without stepping out of their budget. What really sets them apart, it's not just about the fit or the fabric, it's the intention behind everything that they do. True Classic was built to make an impact, whether it's helping men show up better in their daily lives, giving back to undeserved communities, or making people laugh with ads that don't take themselves too serious. They lead with purpose. So I have been loving True Classic. I got them. I've got a bunch of things that, again, like I said, shirts, pants, and I told my wife the other day, I said, I don't know if I want to go anywhere else right now. True Classic. I mean, I'm telling you, I went out to go out with some friends. I was wearing this True Classic t-shirt. They fit really nice. They just comfortable. It's good material. I love it. And you don't have to worry about it. Just get rid of the overpriced designer brands. Ditch the disposable fast fashion. True Classic is built for comfort. It's built to last, and it's built to give back. You can grab them anywhere, Target, Costco. You can head to trueclassic.com/Kristian. That's where you really should go, and get hooked up today. You will love it. I have been swearing by it. I'm telling you, this is me telling you straight up. I love this brand. I love True Classic. I really do. Love True Classic, and I hope you guys too. So head on over to True Classic. The link is in the description. Roxy Striar, did you see Ironheart yet?
No.
Okay. I watched the first 3 episodes. I can't give a full review on it yet, but first reactions are in, and here are the first reactions from some other peeps besides myself and Sam. Sam also did the immediate reaction with me for that one. Marvel Studios held a, what's happening here? Why is this doing that? What is going on? Why is it doing that? There it is. Marvel Studios held a screening for Ironheart tonight in Hollywood, and the social media embargo lifted right afterwards. Find out what critics made of the 6-episode season right here. Marvel's Ironheart hit Disney Plus with 3-episode premiere tomorrow, and the social media embargo for Riri Williams solo has also lifted. We'll keep adding reactions as they come, but so far, we'd say the consensus is mixed to positive. Though some seem to feel that the show is among the best we've seen from Marvel, the majority of posts are not as quite as glowing. That said, very few are outright negative. Dominique Thorne comes in with a lot of praise in the lead role, and it sounds like the introduction of magic-based tech is something that MCU fans should be very excited about. Anthony Ramos' villain, the Hood, doesn't get many mentions, maybe not a great sign, and there are some criticisms of the writing, but all in all, Ironheart might just be worth checking out. And there's some of the, you can see some of the things. It says pretty solid, doesn't quite soar. It takes a while to get going. Villain isn't great. Well, the finale is worth the watch. A lot of people said that, by the way, the finale. I've only seen 1 through 3. I didn't see the last 6. Mark Cassidy from Comic Book. I've seen all 6 of Ironheart, and it's not good. It becomes obvious very quick why Marvel decided to dump this on Disney Plus 3 episodes at a time. I can't fault the cast, but none of them are given much to work with. Some of the action scenes are passable, and the finale is by far, I guess, the best. Ironheart delivers an insanely fun story that perfectly blends tech and magic. Dominique Thorne is a force to be reckoned with as Riri Williams, and Anthony Ramos is haunting as the Hood. It's filled with fun Easter eggs and crazy surprises that will change the MCU forever. There's a ton of other ones, but yeah, I mean, just those were significantly different. Sam loved Anthony Ramos in the first 3. I thought he shines in episode 3. I agree. It takes a while to get going. I think the Red Hood's crew is not good.
Do you love Anthony Ramos in general?
I don't dislike him. I think he's fine. But I think he's very good in the 3rd episode. And I actually think I give him more credit than the other people did. But he's pretty engaging. But the stories that she definitely has way more to do, obviously, than in the movie Black Panther 2. I still think she was shoehorned in there to get us acquainted with her. The relationship with her AI is definitely the best chemistry. Alden Ehrenreich has some good stuff to do.
Did she have like a Jarvis?
Yeah, I'll say that. And how they incorporate that is interesting. But yeah, it takes a bit before you get engaged, and by the time you are, and I think you really start to get engaged in episode 3, which is where I'm at. I haven't gone through 4 through 6, so I can't speak on the ending. Everybody seems to love the ending. I don't know yet, but there were quite a few times when the crew was on, and I'm like, let's go, wrap this up, and let's just get to reread what she's doing. Let's get the Alden scene, the stuff. They're trying too hard with the crew, and I do not believe that they are capable of anything.
How long are the episodes?
About 45-50 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this show was kind of doomed before it came out.
How so?
Nobody was talking about it. When they were talking about it, they weren't saying positive things.
No hype behind it.
There was no hype. RGJ put out a video trying to up the hype.
Right.
And so I feel like the reactions match that.
Yeah, I don't think the show's going to do
People aren't saying this is horrible. Well, some people were, but for the most part, people seem to be like, okay, and maybe by the end it is worthwhile. I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to watch this, but it airs tonight, and I don't think I'll watch it tonight because
you're just not you're not like pumped for it.
Right. I've got a lot of other things I'm watching right now that I love.
Yeah.
And a bummer for this is that we got a lot of TV coming out right now. We have The Bear coming out. We have Squid Game coming out. You know, like people are rewatching Wednesday, getting ready for that.
Right.
There's so much good TV in the summer coming out that I just think that this is going to get passed right over, but I'm certainly going to watch it and report back.
Well, I think that that's what you said is right. I think that it's very similar. Like, so Ilio is another one, right? And Luke sent me, I think he sent me an article about the Ilio thing too. Ilio's a fine movie. It's fine, but it needed to be great in order to really get people talking and going to see it. And it wasn't. And that's the same with this. Like, you know, it doesn't matter when, like, if you even if you say it's fine, there's some interesting moments to it. Yeah, you kind of short in a show. So, yeah, but no, what I'm saying is it's a fine show. It needed to be great. It needs to be great.
Yeah, it's so hard right now in the era where in this month, Kristian, and I was just talking about television, but in July, we're about to get Jurassic Park, Superman, Fantastic Four, Megan 2, what's even the other movie? The final
Superman.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, there's just so many legacy movies and so many things people are so excited for, spending their time and money on. If you are a movie or TV show coming out this summer, F1. If you're a TV show or movie coming out this summer, you got to be gangbusters.
Yep. Yeah. And that, especially if you're Marvel. Now, look, this movie, or sorry, show rather, was made during the time of the let's make as much as we can. Let's keep putting stuff out there. We got Ryan Coogler do this movie. This show was announced and footage was shown in 2022 at D23. It's been quite a bit. And so they wanted to make sure that it came out. But there were rumors that they didn't even know if they were going to put it out. And then obviously they did. And they're going to put.
I like it.
I think you'll like it. I think you will. It's not. It really isn't. There are shows like, look, again, you and I are on different pages when it comes to She-Hulk. But like She-Hulk for me was brutal to get through again on the second watch. It was. I didn't like it the first time, and it was brutal to watch. Secret Wars I wouldn't even go back to. I got bored and other things. This show's like I'm watching. I'm going, okay. I'm like, fine, interesting. I mean, I want to see where the story goes. Yeah.
Would 90210 have been brutal for you to watch?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No, I watched. It's because the tone was set from that show from the get-go. But that's what that was. That was the universe. It wasn't like it was part of this entirely different tone for the whole time. And then they switch it up and do this. And anyway, different discussion. But no, I liked 90210. But this is a show that I like the first two episodes, and I agree with what people are saying. It's like, okay, where are we going with this? Let's go. And I think that that's why they put the first three episodes out in order now. But there are times watching it, like I said, like I told you, like you might like the crew better than I did. Like there are just a few times. There's one particular character they have that is supposed to be like the funny one, right? The telling the jokes. I don't think one of her jokes landed. One. And I was waiting for them to. It wasn't one of those things like, okay, here we go. Kristian doesn't like comedy stuff. I'm like, no. I understand.
Was cast wrong?
What's that?
Do you think she was miscast?
Yes. She didn't deliver the lines. Not.
So you didn't think it was a dialogue issue as much as you thought she was miscast?
Well, maybe both. Because it's the lines weren't funny and the delivery wasn't funny. And I'm like, this isn't. And Sam, who, you know, is if you can hit a joke with her, she's gonna laugh. Blank. And she liked the show.
It's very easy when things are going right in a show or movie to identify why.
Yeah.
It's very difficult when things are not landing to try to figure out, was it the writing? Was it the direction? Was it the timing with the editing? Was it the performance? It's just so much harder when something's not landing.
It was a little bit more subjective.
Yeah, to figure out why.
Yeah, because you could see this and the jokes could land for you, and in that aspect, you could think that the writing is working. So
Right.
where I don't think it is. So that's where it becomes more subjective. But I do think that I do feel that you'll know what I'm talking about there. And like, and Eric Andre is in the show, and I wish he was in it more.
Eric Andre is in the show.
He
I
is.
don't remember that. Oh, I think he was in the trailer for a second, actually.
Yeah. All I'll say is I wish he was in it more.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when you guys see, you'll see what I'm talking about. But
Well, by next Tuesday, I'll have seen it.
Yeah. Someone asked me if I thought Echo was a hard watch. No, I don't think it was hard. It was just boring. It wasn't a hard watch. Echo wasn't a bad show. It was just boring.
Ooh.
And I never even finished it.
Oh,
I didn't finish. I didn't finish that, and I didn't finish.
So obviously, you did think it was a hard watch.
Maybe, but not the same way that I found like She-Hulk. The Echo to me was like, I could have finished it like the same kind of feeling. Like, okay, the story that I thought the lead actress in Echo was good, and the Kingpin stuff was good, but I wasn't engaged enough to go, oh, I need to watch this. I need to keep watching it.
Sometimes things just don't land with us in a certain moment, and it's not like what you're in the mood for. People recommended me. I know this, that show Department Q.
People keep talking about that show.
Kristian,
you didn't like it?
I don't know, but I watched one episode and I was like, I really don't want to watch this right now.
Interesting.
Like I don't know whether it was because it wasn't good. I don't think it was because it wasn't good. I just was watching it and I was just saying to myself, like, I don't want to watch this right now. Maybe I'll try again in a month and see if it's more my vibe then. But like, holy crap, sometimes you just are not in the mood for something. So I take back my Echo comment to you where it was a hard watch. Maybe it just wasn't for you in that moment. Maybe it's just like,
it was take it back because the question is is valid, but it was a matter of there are two different ways. It's like, am I interested? The same way with, even though like Secret Wars is another one, or Secret Invasion is another one where most people who watched that whole series said it was the farts. And so I bailed on it after 2 episodes, which apparently are the 2 best episodes. I just wasn't, and it was more so because I just wasn't interested anymore. I didn't care. Like, I didn't care where the story went, right? So like, and that's the difference. Like, I would, even if I wasn't reviewing this with Sam and watching it with Sam, I'd watch the final 3 now to say, I'm curious where this goes, especially after hearing that the ending is relevant to things going on. I'm like, I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm engaged enough to say I want to see. Like, there's certain stories that they tell, whether it's movies or TV. You're like, okay, maybe this isn't the greatest TV show or greatest movie, but I'm interested enough to see where this story goes. And there's other times you go, I don't give a shit where this story goes. So, anyway, that's it. That's Ironheart, man. So, like I said, if you want to check out our immediate reaction for Ironheart, it's on the channel right now. We also put up our Black Panther Wakanda Forever reaction up today with Sam. That's on the channel currently. Tonight, I'm hoping that I can get the Ironheart reaction up there too. I just double check and see if that's ready to go. But the question is, Ironheart, you guys gonna be watching it? You gonna check it out? Do you care? Do you not care? Do you think it'll do well? That was the other thing, I guess, Roxy, before we sign off there too. Do you think this show's gonna do well in the ratings?
I'm so sad. No,
I don't think it's gonna do well. I think it's gonna do pretty poor.
But I would have answered that before any of these reviews came out.
Right, because there's no hype behind it.
Yeah, you just see it, the tea leaves. Yeah. You're reading the tea leaves. That's a bummer. You never want things to fail, but I just don't. I think Roxy's right. I just don't think there's enough hype behind it. But put your thoughts in there, guys. Tell us what you think, whether it is in the live chat, whether it is in the comments, and Clips channel. We're almost at 11,000 subscribers on the Clips channel. We could be there by the end of the day. All you got to do is go over there. Well, why do I need to go to the Clips channel? Because you keep asking for time codes. You don't need time codes. You go to the Clips channel and you can see, oh, I didn't get a chance to watch the whole show today. Clips channel. You watch the stories you want to see. You can go and you check it out. That's what the Clips channel is for. It's the links in the description, or you can just put Kristian Harloff Clips. Easy as that. Okay, we got some more topics here today. And I was talking about Elio before, and I want to bring this up. This is an analyst. Again, this is from Dark Horizons. There's an analyst says that's right, Garth Franklin. That scared the hell out of me. The poor opening is worrisome. The past weekend saw
Pixar's Ilio's release in cinemas and subsequently crashed and burned on liftoff. The $150 million budgeted, it's at 150. That's just idiocy. That's idiocy.
How much are they usually?
Probably in that range. But if it's like Toy Story or Inside Out or something along those lines, 150 for this movie, someone needs to get, I won't say fired, but someone needs to get their hand spanked pretty hard. Snagged the worst box office opening of any Pixar film to date, taking in just 21 million domestically for its first weekend. It was worse overseas, where it pulled in a dismal 14.9 million. Critics' reviews were good, albeit softly. So for the feature, while the cinema score of A suggests audiences are really liking the movie, Disney no doubt hopes this will pull off an Elemental and stick around in subsequent weeks to become a decent earner by the time it wraps in its theatrical run. Not going to happen, and I'll tell you why when we talk about this. Wall Street analyst Doug Kreutz tells Deadline that the gap between original animation and sequels have grown massively since COVID, and poor starts like this will only fuel the push for more sequels in the future. We expect more movie studios to react to this clear trend by greenlighting fewer original IP animated films. Don't blame film execs, blame the audiences. The issue, of course, is that without new hit properties, the studio cannot grow its IP portfolio. This could be particularly problematic for Disney, which depends on its animated film, parks, consumers, products, flywheel to help drive overall company growth. Kreutz says that the average gross for original animated titles released by Disney and Universal has been 412 million, less than half the 844 million average for the 7 animated sequels released over the same span. In fact, the game would be even wider if it weren't for the 1.36 billion haul of the Super Mario Brothers lifting up the original count. Pixar used to do well with originals, launching Inside Out in 2015 and Coco in 2017 to both acclaim and very healthy box office. However, they've been struggling since the 2020s began. First with Onward opening right as the pandemic hit, and then opening to release Soul, Luca, and Turning Red direct to Disney Plus to boost subscriber counts. After that, Pixar tried going back to theatrical with limited success. First with Lightyear, which ended bombing badly, grossing a total of just 226.4 million of a 200 million budget, and Elemental, which started slow, ended up okay with 496 off of a $200 million budget. Inside Out 2 last year was a massive success for them, taking a 1.7 billion. Thus, it comes as a little surprise that Pixar has opted to move forward with Toy Story 5, Incredibles 3, Coco 2 in the next few years. It still has 2 more originals on the way, Hoppers early next year and Gato in summer 2027. And there's understandable concern people aren't going to rush out to see those. Talk comes as Pete Docter said last week at a Fast Company Summit in New York that originals are essential to this company. We have to find out what people want before they know it, because if we just gave them more they want, they'd be making Toy Story 27. Did you see this movie?
No.
Right.
And not only did I not see it, I hadn't heard of it until a month ago.
Well, it only came out a month ago.
I know.
You're seeing right as it was coming out.
As it was coming out, I said, "What is this?"
Yeah, it wasn't marketed very well. And I think I'm one of the only people who chose to see that movie instead of F1 that night. I could see an F1, but I wanted to see it because I wanted to see if it was any good. I like Pixar movies and seeing if it was going to be a hit. And as I was telling you before, it needed to be great. That's the other thing. It's a good movie. It's a charming movie. It's a nice thing that I would watch with my 7-year-old, but it's not a movie that I'd say you got to go see this. Any other reason? They said, well, hopefully. And I said, I don't think this is going to happen with the Elemental thing, right? You're the research lady. See what Elemental was up against at that time in the theater. And I bet you nothing too substantial. Could be wrong, but it wasn't going up against Lilo and Stitch in its 5th week or whatever it was. It's or third or 4th week at the time it came out. It's not going up against How to Train Your Dragon and other movies that are coming out. It's stuck right in the middle of summer. It was that movie Elemental came out, I think, during like still
it was June 16th, 2023, up against June 16th was also The Flash.
Right. Audience.
And before that, I mean, for the month, The Boogeyman came out, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Okay. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was 5 weeks away from it.
Right. And that's the same company. So it had no competition at all in the kids space, so it had time to build. It is so important to be able to say, especially at that time in 2023, when you can go and you can take
Asteroid City. Yeah, there was nothing around it.
First movie that my I think that my wife took the kids to see in the theater together. There's that one because there was nothing else to see. She's like, I want to go back to the movies. I want to go check something out. What do I see? People aren't going to do that with Elio.
Elemental was also an amazing movie.
It was a really good movie. I like that movie a lot.
Amazing. And it had a lot of Inside Out vibes. So I feel like it borrowed from the things that were already working. I didn't realize until this article what rough shape Pixar originals are in. And looking at that, I was like, ooh, yeah, that makes sense. The only Pixar movie I've never seen is Onward. I hear it's good and I want to see it. But the other ones that it references, Soul, Luca, Turning Red, I saw all those. They were all good.
But not enough. Again, two things. Well, first, it's the same thing we just talked about before, Rox. It needs to be great. If you want to start, you got to do a second one. That's part one.
I think a lot of people think Soul was great, but it's a completely different release structure because of
COVID and everything. But the other thing and this is blue in the face stuff here. What are you doing? Spending $150 to $200 million on an original. I use and I know that animation is expensive to make.
They all are. So I did check that. None of them. They're all 150, 175, 200.
Not anymore. Not on my watch.
No. I'm not saying that they should be. I'm just saying.
I know. And I'm saying that not anymore. Not on my watch. Find a way to do it cheaper because I use Deadpool as an example. Deadpool 1, different movies, not animated, but very cheap to make the first one, and it made a lot of money. And that's why if Deadpool 1 would have cost, it still made a ton of money anyway, probably still like a sequel with a $200 million budget. It would have looked very different though. So who knows? But you got to make a profit first in order to get a second one. Even if you do, there's some movies that cost less, do okay, but people really responded to it. There's a fan base for it. Didn't cost us that much. Still made a little bit of money. Let's make a second one. And then the second one does really well. So and if you're not making great stuff, because they said, well, I was surprised Lightyear didn't do well. Lightyear's I didn't mind it, but my 7-year-old, I mean, she was like 5 or something when she saw it, lost. It was like, you've got to aim that towards everyone. And they didn't. They did not. And it was like, it was too expensive. It was all over the place. The movie was so Kate told me that her kids didn't know what the hell was going on at the end and they didn't care about it. And you should have done. They should have done something off of actual Lightyear. You're going to spin it off.
Question for you. Okay, so people always say this: budget too high, budget too high. So let's slash the budget for a second.
Yeah, sure.
We're not going to slash the animators' budget, obviously.
Right. Where do you slash?
Do you cut the actors? Do you think that there is no need anymore? Like for Soul, for example, that was Tina Fey and Jamie Foxx.
Right.
That's where a huge percentage of the budget probably went. All of Pixar movies tend to have pretty big cast. For Elio, we had Zoe Saldana, we had Brad Garrett, we had Jamila Jamil, we had a lot of voice actors as well, but some huge people. Do you think it matters?
It's such a hard question, but it's a great question. I think the answer is yes sometimes, no other times, which is a lame answer, but I just think that it's there are times you're like, we don't need that person. And then I'm like, I don't know if I want to see Inside Out without Amy Poehler. However, they were missing some key members of Inside Out 2 there that didn't come back for the sequel. Didn't make much of a difference. Movie still made, $1 billion. So,
and are you only missing Amy Poehler because it was Amy Poehler? And if it hadn't been Amy Poehler,
if there was another unknown, cheaper actress that would have done, an amazing performance, albeit a different performance than Amy Poehler, and still did it, would have been cheaper? And yeah, of course. There's so many talented voice actors there that you can give a shot. You don't need it to be a celebrity, but that's
the movie has done as well. Would the box office have done as well for Inside Out?
Great question. It's a great question. One of the reasons I say no is because, marketing counts, for these movies too. And when you're getting Amy Poehler on Jimmy Fallon and these other things, or doing these viral bits that go out there because it's Amy Poehler and whatever, it helps. It helps get noticed to it for sure. So there's a reason why they do it, but maybe it's one big star. I don't know. I don't know the answer to it, to be honest with you. I really don't know. I don't know what the.
Well, it starts with picking stories that maybe don't cost that much to animate because
Right.
they're less locations,
Yeah.
less visually out there, whatever it is. But I am just curious because I agree with you. How are you going to make an original movie for $175 million that is just going to bomb after you've done that 4 times?
Right. There's just so much of a risk now. There's just so much of a risk that you're like, I don't know. I like you that's why I understand why they're greenlighting all the sequels and everything too. And that article is correct, by the way, too. And it's like, and I say this all of the time, but one of the things I cannot stand the most is like, no more sequels, no more remakes. They never make original stuff in Hollywood. They make original stuff in Hollywood all of the time. There's a different conversation when it's like, no more sequels, no more. Let the studios put that big money into original stuff is essentially what the audience is saying, and when they say that. But as Dark Horizon says in that article,
blame the audience, not the studio.
Proof is in the pudding.
Right.
The proof is in the pudding that you are not going to see the big budget original stuff. You're watching the other stuff on Netflix, you're watching it on Amazon, you're watching all this stuff. You ain't watching it in the movies. When it comes out and it tries, they're bombing for the most part.
Did you see Materialist?
No, did you see it?
Yeah, I went and saw it this weekend.
All right, so don't tell me yet, because this movie is so interesting to me, because every time I hear about it, I hear a different take from people.
I know.
People who love it.
That's why I went to see it, Kristian, because half the people were telling me this is one of the best rom-coms of the decade, and half the people were saying it's absolutely atrocious. You're going to hate it.
Right. Chris Carr said this is not a romantic comedy. I don't know why people are calling it a romantic comedy. What did you think of the movie?
Chris Carr said what?
She said it's not a romantic comedy. I don't understand why people are calling it that. You think it is?
I mean, I guess I would call this a romantic dramedy, but
okay.
If somebody called it a romantic comedy, I certainly would not correct them.
Okay.
But I think it's a dramedy, you know.
Okay. And did you like it?
I thought it was unbelievable.
Okay.
I loved this movie.
Okay.
And I actually think you're going to like it too. And I won't give anything away, but the thing that is upsetting people is the ending.
Okay.
And I loved the ending. And I think it's very odd that we're at a place in life that people really didn't like that.
Interesting. I want to see the ending.
Oh, Kristian, I loved this movie. But the point that I was going to make is that this movie had a $25 million budget. And because of that, it's going to end up
being
doing okay.
Right.
And it's not crazy performing right now, but it's going to make its money back, and then a little bit is what it seems.
Yeah, you're right.
If it had a $75 million budget, it would have been effed. So, like, movies really need to reassess what are they capable of making, and then you need to make your budget less than half of that.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you.
It's math now at this point.
It is. Facts by Roxy Striar. What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. I'm going to do one more story when we get to TV, and then we'll get to your questions. Let's do this. X-Men story here. Ryan Coogler has confirmed that Thunderbolts director Jake Schreier will helm the MCU reboot. It's what we all thought anyway, but Mark Cassidy saying following the recent news that Thunderbolts director Jake Schreier was being eyed to helm Marvel Studios' X-Men reboot, it looks like we have confirmation that the filmmaker has officially signed on. Though things do fall through from time to time, of course, when any director or actor is announced as being in talks for a particular project, it's usually a pretty good sign that they have already worked out a deal. Variety did mention that Schreier has been tapped for the gig in a recent article, but it was generally assumed that the trade was simply noting the previous report and wasn't providing an update. Now, Black Panther director and Ironheart executive producer Ryan Coogler has left little doubt that Schreier will be the man to assemble Marvel's team of mutant heroes for their first big screen outing since 20th Century Fox Dark Phoenix. The initial news that Schreier was in line to direct X-Men was met with something of a mixed response. Though Thunderbolts was a big hit with critics and Marvel fans in general, the most recent MCU movie did not fare well at the box office. Filmmaker is seen by some as a safe but unremarkable choice for such an important movie. Casting is reportedly set to get underway very soon, if it hasn't already, and the likes of Harris Dickinson, Margaret Qualley, and Juliet Butters are said to be on the studio's radar. Let's see, anything else there too. Here's what Kevin Feige said, and about the fan in general. But it looks like, okay, so guess Ryan Coogler in that Instagram video confirmed it. But thoughts on Schreier doing X-Men?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I love the choice. I love the choice. I love the choice. This is one of those things where, and this is a conversation that we were having similar yesterday when we were talking about actors, and if their box office doesn't do well, does that mean that they don't get cast in big things in general, even if the performances are good? And it's similar here, right? He did a great job directing this movie. This is one of the better Marvel movies, most locked in on story and characters I have been in a very long time. I cared about the characters in this movie, the build-up between it was a little darker, and that to me is what X-Men needs to be. I need to see a setting, and as far as, I don't know if he's a big enough director to do it. He hasn't had an opportunity yet to become the big director. This could be, as we were just talking about before, when you have something, you gotta let it build. This is the movie that's going to put him in that stratosphere. X-Men is going to be a hit, and with him doing it, he clearly understands the team dynamic. He clearly understands the importance and the gravity of what's happening with the emotional structure of this property. I think this is a very smart move by them. I don't think it's a safe move. I think it's safe in the fact that, like, okay, they know him, they know they can trust him in that aspect. But it's also, look what he just did for us. He put together a good thing. I think it shows trust.
I think also when you have a TV director, which he is a huge television director, they understand how to play within parameters. They know how to play within a machine. He directed Robot and Frank, which I never saw. But after that, he directed Paper Towns, Shameless. He did a Haim music video, which is excellent. 2 episodes of I'm Dying Up Here. He directed 6 episodes of Kidding. He directed 1 episode of Dave. He directed 1 episode of Minx. Shout out to Sam Levine, who was on that show. He directed 6 episodes of Beef. He directed 1 episode of Skeleton Crew. This is a man who knows how to work
teams.
What?
With teams.
With teams. Yeah.
With teams. I wonder if Andrew Santino will show up in the X-Men movies. He worked with him looks like 3 times.
That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
That would be cool. He directed the most recent Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco thing. He's cool. He's got his finger on the pulse. He's done a lot of different things with a lot of different people.
Great choice.
And most recently, he did a movie that we all really liked. So when I look at it, of course, everybody's going to look at Thunderbolts to be the most direct comparison, which makes perfect sense. It's the movie that he did within the system. But I always think that TV directors who have consistently worked for years and continue to book and have done a great job on their episodes, because I looked up which ones they are, like that's somebody who understands that it's important to direct, but it's really important not to over direct. And it's also important to be true to the material that's come before and will come after.
I love this choice. I really do. I think it's an excellent, very smart choice in general. Good person to start the franchise off. So what do you guys make of this? What do you think about the Thunderbolts director being the guy to do it? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right. Time for some TV. Let's get to the TV stuff. We got to start. I hope we're putting these up on the Clips channel. I want to put the recommendations up on the Clips channel. I hope we are. Roxy, let's get to some. Look at this now. Check this out. Where'd you go?
I love it.
You're right there. All right. So we're going to do some TV picks from the Roxinator, and let's see what are we going to start with today? Do you think? We'll guess. Okay, I know what we're going to start with. I'm going to get out of here. Bye, guys.
All right, Kristian, here's what happened. On Tuesday of last week,
yes,
everybody was talking about Love Island, and I said to you on this show, there's an episode every night. I'll never be able to catch up. I'll never watch this show. Kristian, what did I do from Tuesday of last week to Tuesday of this week?
You gotta be kidding me.
I watched 20 episodes.
Good Lord.
There was 20 episodes of Love Island.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I am caught up. Here's something about me. I've never met somebody who has worse FOMO than I do. Like, if I feel like I'm missing out on the hot it thing that everyone's talking about, I will go to the ends of the earth to be part of the conversation. the water cooler conversation was made for me about this show and in general. The amount of shows I've watched just because people are talking about them and I want to be part of it is like half. So I'm caught up.
Okay, you're all and you like it? You love it?
I have qualms. I have qualms with this show. I feel like the show is meant to be shared. It's meant to be watched with people. Number one, I could never go on the show for many reasons, but Kristian, one of the like prerequisites for the show is that they all have to make out with each other all of the time.
What? Like, even if they're not attracted to you?
Yes, you have to make out with each person down a line like 10 times.
Gonorrhea.
In a row, and I'm a germaphobe. Yeah. I'd die. I would die. Like, they're not even cleaning their mouths before they're going from one kiss to the next person to the next person. And like sometimes they're blindfolded and don't even know who they're kissing. It's like, to me, this would be actual like worse than water torture. Like, I feel like this is like actually torturous.
What's it called when you get, what the hell is it called?
Oh no.
I said gonorrhea.
I heard you say gonorrhea. I was just letting it go.
You can't let that go.
I was letting it go. Because like probably that too. They're all like boning too. Okay. The other thing about this show, Kristian.
Okay, sorry.
No, I'm not done, clearly.
Okay, go ahead.
You're gonna give me 30 seconds. I watched 20 hours of this week. Go ahead. The other thing about the show, Kristian, is that I watch a lot of competition shows and I watch a lot of dating shows. Yes. Competition shows along the lines of Big Brother, Survivor, The Challenge. Dating shows along the lines of Bachelor, which you know very well as well, or F-Boy Island or Temptation Island. Okay, so this is I've seen a lot. I've never seen a show do this.
What?
They have challenges every week, just challenges.
Yes.
That amount to nothing, Kristian.
What does that mean?
You have to compete in a challenge and then nothing happens. There's no winner or loser. You're just competing.
What's the point of it?
So it will be like you have to spit milk into somebody else's mouth and they have to put milk into a bucket using the milk that you baby birded into their mouth. Have fun. And then you don't win money. You don't win. You don't win anything. They just do challenges to mix things up. What? Like,
horrible premise.
It is insane. And yet clearly captivating, because for 20 hours I watched this and now I'm caught up and watch every single night. So I don't know what to say about this. Keep it posted.
Show makes me sick.
I get that.
All right, next one.
So many of you guys have thanked me for recommending this show, and that's why we do this segment. I love doing this segment because of this. I love Stick. I've told you I'm going to recommend it.
I think Chris Carr said she watched it because of you.
Did she say she liked it?
Yeah.
I can't imagine not liking this show. And the most recent episode got the deepest, and I love that you just can tell there's such backstory to these characters. It's feel good, and yet gut-wrenching at times. I got DJ to watch the show, apparently Chris Carr. I know a lot of you guys. It's like sometimes I go on these missions like I did.
Sadie loves it, by the way.
It's so good. It's so good. It's an easy watch. It's so short. It's once a week. It's just like you fly through it, and Apple doesn't miss for me. This is another absolute smash hit for them. Have you heard of this, Kristian?
No.
Okay, so I hadn't heard of this either. I had never heard of this show. And what I always try to do, and I've told you this before, is if something's trending number one on Netflix, I try to watch at least an episode of it. Because what?
I said sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. Because it's the number one trending thing in the country on Netflix. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me try it. But I didn't see any press for this. And I was like, what is this show? It's like if Ozark was a soap opera.
Oh, like a great review.
No, I'm actually really into it, but it thinks it's Ozark.
Oh, but it's not.
But it's not. It's definitely not. Because sometimes I feel like I wish somebody would come in and be like, ba-ba-bum.
Right,
like
that.
So I wish somebody pitched it to me that way. It's like so corny, and I don't know anybody watching this, but it takes itself very seriously. Melissa Benoist is in this. I love her.
Okay.
The performances are extremely over the top. It's very melodramatic. Like, they're dealing drugs, and this one's an addict and has lost custody of their child, and this one gets shot, and this one, it's like every minute there's something new. So if you're looking for an elevated soap opera that is more in an Ozark theme, then this is a good one for you. I'm enjoying it. I can't like recommend it with my full chest, but I'm enjoying it. Okay, I put this on the list a few weeks ago, and I wanted to touch back on Murderbot because also some of you guys have been watching this alongside me. Going back to my point that Apple doesn't miss. This show gets better every single week. Alexander Skarsgård doing a great job at the helm of this. It's dealing with a lot of our AI issues, but in a really funny way. The episodes are like 24 minutes. David Dastmalchian is in this. You guys will recognize a lot of people. And it's kind of like, you know, the AI is gaining his own life, and he's watching a lot of, in this world, these old shows that are kind of like a Star Trek or whatever to learn personality traits. So it's really quirky and fun, and it's definitely like the easiest watch on television. It's so short. So I definitely recommend this. I know it's weird to recommend something because it's short, but it's just kind of like, why not watch this show when it's pretty good?
Last one, you did this to me on purpose.
Sarah Silverman postmortem. I forgot your Sarah Silverman story. I didn't do this to you on purpose. This was one of the saddest comedy specials I've seen in a while.
Really? Why?
It was sad as it was really good. It was really good. But in the last few years, her mom, her stepdad, her dad, and her stepmom have all died.
Oh man.
So it's called Postmortem. And that's the whole a lot of times people like meander, go through jokes of all different types. This entire thing was about her dad and stepmom dying, and a little bit about her mom and stepdad. And as a person with a dead parent, I found it extremely relatable. I love when people make humor of this. We call it the DPC, the Dead Parents Club. I can imagine feeling uncomfortable at some of the jokes. Like if you were watching, there were sometimes she would say something and people were like,
didn't know what to do.
I can laugh at that or not. It really landed for me. And I was like, this was really smart. It was a big swing. And I think that a lot of people are not going to dig this. But if laughing at people dying sounds good to you,
sounds good to you.
I don't know how else to phrase that. Like if instead of crying over it, you feel like laughing about it, it's very.
Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you go. No, I didn't mean to. So I think that you also have to understand who Sarah Silverman is. That's where she goes. She goes to that place.
Yeah.
Where
her comedy really works for me.
It does. And she's been killing it for years. So
she's one of the goats.
There you go. Well, guys,
a lot of people don't like her comedy, and I get that, because if it's not for you, it's definitely not for you. But
she's got a good comedian's attitude. So there you go. Those are the picks. Check it out. Make sure you check out all the picks, as Roxy does on the show every Tuesday. All right, Roxy. So we're starting the questions right now. Like I said, Roka is at, what I say, 167. Is that what I said? Double check. I made sure that I had it down. 164. You are currently at 110 before we've even started, because I believe
let's go.
I believe your girl Crystal is in the house, so Roka's in trouble here, I think. Poor Roka. The guy finally hits 160, and Crystal comes back this week. Rowdy tonight became a YouTube member. Great time. We're doing a live stream, by the way, at 4:30 today Eastern Standard Time. So join the live stream, Rowdy. It's gonna be a good one. Nick Alexander. You and Sam are almost caught up with the MCU. Have you enjoyed Phase 4 and 5 watching in a row like this, or is it more jumbled? Love the reactions. Watching in a row like this. Oh, you're saying, as far as for me watching it like with the MCU in the course of like 7 months, yeah, it's good to be kind of caught up with it and watch the ebbs and flows. And we just watched something recently, and Sam had she had a reaction to it where she was like, after watching that movie, it really makes me appreciate like the first 3 phases so much more, because she's in the rough spot right now.
Okay.
She's in the rough spot.
Okay. Rough spot is easier to get through when you do it over years. When like you're binging all this at once, the direct comparison's got to be tricky.
Yeah, she's going to be excited when we get to Guardians. She's going to be excited, and she's going to love it. I know she will. She's going to put her head through the table when the Marvels is on. She's going.
You think she's going to put her head through the table for the Marvel?
She hated Captain Marvel.
She hated Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I didn't mind that one.
Yeah, she's gonna put her head through the table.
Put her head right through the table.
I didn't know she hated Captain Marvel.
She just put hated is probably too strong a word, but she put it was her number. It was like at the time it was her least favorite out of all of them. Now it's
Did she like the Did she like Brie Larson? Did she like the character, or she didn't like the movie?
No, Brie. I know weird a little bit. She liked Brie Larson in Infinity War and an Endgame. She liked her, or whatever it was, Endgame. She liked her in Endgame. Not Infinity War. She's not in Infinity War. Endgame. She liked her in, but yeah, I don't think she's gonna like that movie. Could be wrong. I think she doesn't, and I've given none of this. I'm making sure I'm quiet, but she's very similar to me, where she said in one of the movies that we just watched, she's like, I hate how goofy they're going with it, and I was like, I get it, and so I think when that Singing Planet thing happens, I think she's gonna jump out the window.
Yeah.
And then. I think she'll like Captain America: Brave New World.
How does she feel about Doctor Strange?
She likes Doctor Strange. She didn't. The second one she thought was okay.
Sam, come on.
Second one she thought was okay. She liked the first one a lot. She did not like the second
one. Oh God.
Or I shouldn't. Should I say she didn't like the second one, or she thought it was okay? I can't remember. I got to watch the reaction. But anyway. So thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate the very kind words. Nick Alexander, Roxy, what are your thoughts on Roka versus Gunn?
I'm baffled.
He really.
I am obsessed with hosting with Roka. I love him. I love his takes, and one of the reasons he's so good at what he does is because he doesn't mince his words. I don't know how you could possibly say that Gunn is not doing a good job or doesn't have leadership when, first of all, I don't even know that that's what he was brought in to do, considering it's Gunn and Safran, and Safran clearly is doing more of the business stuff. And second of all, I like when Kristian uses me so he can go find whatever it is he was looking for and put me on the screen. And third of all, a movie hasn't come out of Gunn's yet. So
what are you talking about?
I don't know. What was I talking about?
I heard you. All right. Avi Malik. Support for the amazing and lovely Roxy. There you go. Follows
very
it up.
Nice.
I love Roka. Smart, well-researched, articulate, but when he's wrong, sometimes it's like his logic takes a vacation exit hall. Love the banter, though. Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite is since people are like, you got to get rid of Roka on the show. Like, what are you talking about? It's like he brings conversation to the table, and you don't have to agree with him.
What's his J-Lo take?
He can't stand J-Lo. He can't stand J-Lo. Can't stand her. Avi Malik. Random TV recommendation. Anatomy of a Scandal. Brit Crime. I don't know that one. Do you know that one?
I thought it was a movie. I guess not.
Yeah. Avi also says, any idea when you guys are seeing Superman? No, not yet. I haven't gotten. I'm waiting to hear.
I am going to rush to try to make it tomorrow. But
is it screening tomorrow?
I'm going to rush to try to make it, but I'm taking Grammy to a doctor's appointment that I can't miss.
Okay. Avi Malik, Kristian, besides the simulation theory, any other recommendations from the Y files? Hecklefish cracks me up today. Totally your sense of humor. Yeah. I think that there's some other ones. Again, there was one about the time traveler who showed a passport from an unknown place, and then he's kind of disappeared, and he kind of breaks that down. That was a good one. There's some other.
You and I don't talk about UAPs at all anymore, and there's just been so many things.
A lot of it. I know it's true. It's been a lot. We could discuss it at some point, maybe not today, but Avi Malik, if you guys or any of the crew ever make it down to India, hit me up. I'll be happy to be your guide, and food would be top of the agenda. I love Indian food. Love.
You've been?
Not India, but I've been. I like Indian food.
Oh, that's what you said. Oh, me too. Me too. Oh my God, they have the best sauces.
Look at you, like that. It's too hot here today, by the way. I don't know what it's like in LA, but it's brutal here.
I hear you guys are on a heat wave.
108 degrees when I was driving back from
you had such weird. It was like rain, heat wave. What?
Avi Malik, super chat, autocorrect sucks balls. Fair enough.
What did you say?
I don't know. As an Indian, Slumdog always feels like a Brit backpacker's take on Indian cinema. Dev felt miscast. Boyle now says he wouldn't direct it today. Fair. don't know if it's fair. I mean, the movie didn't win I said win a Super Bowl. Didn't it win an Oscar?
And the Super Bowl.
Yeah, won the Super Bowl and the Oscar.
Boyle said he wouldn't direct it today, huh?
Interesting.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I will say, learning more about Indian cinema, I think that we're really missing out. There's so many unbelievable Indian films. Steph recommends me things all the time that she watches for Cinepals. But I've watched some for Real Rejects too. And like how the way that the United States was so obsessed with RRR and everybody like all of my friends that are Indian or watch a lot of Indian cinema were like, yeah, we have movies like this all the time. Like you guys are majorly missing out. So I feel like Slumdog definitely was not like that and was not going for that, but I hear you.
Yeah. There's the other one that made like $1 billion, right? There was one recently. Was that
maybe?
I think it was. Captain Penis. Is Roxy going to go to the press screening of Superman on Wednesday? Well, she just said she's going to try.
We'll see.
Yeah.
4:00 is very early.
Yeah, it's early. Tommy C. I'm hungrier than a hostage. Sam. She says it twice. It's hilarious. She said it twice.
Okay.
Avi Malik. Damson Idris is blowing up right now. Great actor getting his due. Been following his career for a while. He is hot as hell too. F1 this weekend. Yeah, I hear he's great in the movie.
Yeah, so I didn't watch. First of all, in the review that we did for Real Rejects, Greg calls him Damon Idris, and I didn't correct him because I wasn't positive. And now everybody's shredding. Damson, thank you. Number 2, I didn't watch Snowfall, which I think is the show that he was on. So I'm not familiar with him. I've seen him before, but he's great. He's kind of got Miles Teller vibes.
Oh, okay.
And they're just like young hot shits sometimes, and I love that for him. He's a smoke. The movie's amazing and he's excellent in it.
Joe Mama's Pizza. Khoff, would Roxy be more comfortable with the Chipmunks twin brother Small Balls McGillicuddy? He's sensitive, a good listener, and an empath. They don't speak anymore. No, neither one, Rox.
Nope.
Oh, there you go. Legend MM600. Awesome hair, girl. Here you go.
Thanks. I'm really trying to grow it out. It's thinning like crazy. I'm really sad about it.
My wife cast you in my show in the role that I had for you, by the way.
Oh, really?
She's like, Roxy should play that role. And I was like,
that's so fun.
Yeah.
When are you doing that?
I'm going to go on the train in a little bit, and I got to do some touch-ups while I'm on the train to the script, and I got to get it over to Martini. So once the script is done, I'm going to start kind of pushing it forward, and then we're going to have to launch the campaign, get a director, get all that stuff.
It's so weird. Like, I used to see your wife every week.
I know.
And now I haven't seen her since you guys left.
It's crazy. I know. Parker Hallard, I had to see 28 Years a second time to really wrap my head around it, and now I love it. What's a movie that got much better for you on a second viewing? I'm not going to say I loved it, but a movie that got better for me, and I've mentioned it pretty famously at this point on this show, is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Yeah.
I don't think I have one of these.
Okay.
That I can come up with top of my head. I feel like that makes sense about 28 Years, though. There's a lot going on.
All right. Mike Joyce, Roca has James.
You like that movie?
Which one?
28 Years.
I did. I think that you and I might be on we're in the camp of thinking that I thought it was I was locked in. I was really locked into the movie. But I also understand how it's, not for everybody.
You saw Snyder's comment about it?
He was hilarious. Him and his brother, hilarious. Mike Joyce, Roca has James Gunn? Well, I see. Roca has James Gunn. What's the hill that you'll die on? That Almost Friends stinks.
That Hayden Christensen was always good.
Look at that. You've been defending him for years.
I have.
It's true. I would have loved it. Someone needs to make a video of a deep fake or an AI video of the 2 Cobra Kai actors doing the Charlie Bit Me.
Oh my God.
Right?
Ouch, Charlie.
Martin bit me. Derek Johnson, take a look at any picture of Kove, and I swear it looks like he's always ready to bite someone. That's true. I thought he was going to bite us when we were interviewing him.
Oh man, I'm so curious if there's like other stories that are going to come
picture
out.
Of him, me and him on the wall in there. It's hilarious. It doesn't look like he's going to bite me. But Buster Barnes, I don't think how Superman does speak Oh, I don't think how Superman will speak on Gunn's leadership. I think the fact that he put the first big DC movie on his back shows good leadership already. I agree with you, Buster. I agree with you. I think the fact he's like, look, let me take it forward. Let me be the guy to help us push it into motion, and I'll help direct it. He's got a talent that a lot of these executives don't have.
Buster, you are so speaking. You're preaching to the choir. This is why he's not Feige. Feige did something different. Gunn's a creator. He has Safran. We're not going to see Safran direct something.
Yep.
That's why they're a duo.
TJ Anderson. Hey guys, I saw Jurassic World Rebirth last night at Mystery Monday. Great scene strung together by a rather tired and uninteresting script. 2 out of 5. That's what I was worried about. I was worried about the Monster of the Week type script, but I was hoping they were going to go smaller.
These are like the actors.
Yeah. So I mean, I still want to go to that. I still like going to that world. I get even though I haven't liked the movie since Jurassic World. I still like going to that world. So we'll see. I go see it tomorrow. Mike Joyce, Martin Kove, and Armie Hammer starring in a road trip cooking show, The Hunger Bros, coming soon to the Food Network. There you go. Go Pal.
Armie Hammer's kind of making a comeback right now.
Trying to. He's been on podcasts and stuff too.
Yeah, I've been seeing him everywhere. Yeah. And
who comes back first, him or Kevin Spacey?
I definitely think Armie Hammer could bounce back easier than Kevin Spacey if we were being fair.
Well, but the thing is too,
that people like Kevin Spacey more as a talent.
But the other thing is too is that if you look at it, he wasn't found guilty of any charge.
I know.
Yeah. So that's the
difference. Armie Hammer wasn't even tried for.
He didn't try for anything. No, but there was, pictures and stuff too. Who knows? I don't know. I think you're right. By the way, if out of the two of them, I think it's probably Armie Hammer.
I know it's tough to say. We are in such a weird place in society where now it's been so long since some people have been like borderline canceled that we're debating like
come on back
and like, but the conversations are like, cannibalism. Was it? Is it not? It's like just such a weird topic. Hearing him talk about it, I'm like, man, I do not envy the position you're in to address some of these questions because I don't know how you could give a right answer. Like,
yeah. Go Pal. Roxy, have you checked out the We Were Liars show on Prime? I remember liking the book a lot.
No, what is that?
There you go. You have to look it up.
Okay.
Crystal, there she is. This is the beginning of it. Hey guys, sorry I've been away taking care of grandfather in hospice care, end of life care. Oh man, he has passed away, Sally. I'm sorry, Crystal. Thank you for the shows. It helped. I'm glad that the show helped. And I mean, obviously Roxy can relate. She was
my grandfather's funeral is this weekend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that my family is all coming to town for it, including my little niece.
That's nice. At least that's
I'm
nice.
really it's like we're looking at it as a celebration of life. I so feel you here, Crystal. I feel like for the last since March 31st when he passed, I am like a shell of who I am. It is so hard to move on when you're a caretaker to somebody that you love. It's just so fucking hard. So much respect and thinking of you.
Go Pal gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Go Pal. A good time to do it. We're going to be doing a live stream.
Pal.
There you go. Armetta, attention. Cinnabuns make people gassy. Really? I didn't know that. I am Two Fly Cam. Roxy, would you rather play Poison Ivy or Zatanna?
Poison Ivy. I mean, like, I think that I don't have the skill set to play Zatanna because I would have to really, really train. Poison Ivy, I think, uses a lot of different types of looks and powers that would be more up my alley. I also have always wanted to go red, so it would be a really good excuse.
Rafts, UK Raft, and hear me out. Daniel Craig for Magneto. Also, hi, Roxy. Daniel Craig would be interesting.
It's definitely not who I would cast.
No, probably not. I think they got to go younger. But he could, if you went to that age range, yeah, he could do it for sure. But it's not who I would cast either. RQ MDSMD sport for Roxy. Roxy, you have me looking forward to seeing F1 this weekend.
It's so good, so fun, so good, so fun.
Halajda, Roxy rocks. There you go.
I taught Grammy how to do the rock on hands this weekend.
Hilarious. Did you tape it?
Yes, and I put it on Instagram story. But she was like getting really frustrated because she like can't get her thumb over her finger, and so she decided she's actually going to change it to. She thinks this should be rock on. Hilarious. I said that's wax on. She said I don't care. It's now rock on. Fine.
Crystal says during his last 5 hours, we got some family and people from my family church, and they came by. And his favorite singer from the church sang his favorite songs. He took a 24-hour nap. Wasn't responsive. So glad we got this moment. That's beautiful. I'm glad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things Sarah Silverman talks about in her special,
Yeah.
actually, that I really appreciated, which is so hard to talk about, but how much you miss those final days, no matter how hard it is.
Mhm.
Like, you don't think about as much the young years sometimes if you're there for somebody's passing, like, you think about those moments. It's kind of interesting.
Josh Needle, go Roxy, beat Roca. There you go.
Let's
Crystal,
go.
how can people say Gunn has weak leadership? So odd.
It is odd.
It's not. I don't think you have enough game tape, as I said
It's
yesterday.
odd.
I'm going to highlight this.
Also, everybody who talks about Gunn, who's worked with Gunn, talks about what an amazing leader he is. So that it's got to be relevant.
Mearsham. There's another one. Roxy, do you watch We Were Liars? I still have some eps to watch, but so far.
Wow. Okay, that's 2 Rex.
That's 2 Rex. There you go. So We Were Liars. That's probably be on the list next week.
We Were Liars.
Thank you, Crystal. Mike Joyce, Roxy, thank you for recommending Stick. I love it. There you go. Mike's
You're welcome.
Movie Madness. Cobra Kai never dies.
Oh my God, in the chat. You guys are so right. I read that as Zatanna, the magician. No, I still definitely would be Poison Ivy. Thank you, though.
Crystal D. Thank you all for doing these shows. They helped during a rough time. It truly helped. You and Roxy are the best. Thank you, Crystal. You were the best. I'm glad you're back and we're gonna see more. But I understand obviously that what you were doing.
100%. Thank you for being here, though. Appreciate you. You don't have to put the whole show on your back, though, babe.
Cool Cash CG. Hey, Kristian, when do you see Superman? Have you gotten your press ticket? No, I'm waiting to hear back. Unfortunately, usually I have 2 contacts over at Warner Brothers, and neither one of them is working on this movie. So it's someone I haven't worked with before too often. So I'm waiting to hear back from that particular person.
That's not true, Kristian.
I think it is.
No. I'll tell you after.
All right, I'll talk about it afterwards. Thank you, Crystal. Again, a lot of these from Crystal coming in. Highlight in there until we get to the next question, but there's a ton of those that Crystal put in. Crystal also says, loving Sam's reactions. They always bring me joy. Thank you again for that. Tons of support from Crystal coming back in and coming in hot today for Roxy. Ton of these. So the next one here is,
let's go, Crystal.
all right. Saw Jurassic last night. It was awesome. It was scary. I wish they called it Jurassic Park 4 or Jurassic something else because it's more park style than world. See, there's a mixed review, right? Mixed one.
I guess I still don't know. I haven't talked to anybody who's seen this.
Okay. Well, I'll see you tomorrow and I'll let you know. More support from Crystal. Halasha, we don't need a clips channel. We need time codes. Hell no. Hell no. It's a lot easier for me to get an editor to put the clips on there.
I think that to everybody
time codes, dude, do it, and then I'll highlight it. And I ain't got no time for that, my friend. Yeah, no time. But the clips channel I love, and I think it's a lot easier for people to go and check that out. Matt Krugman, pick one. The rest got to go. Pizza, wings or tacos. I mean, I just said my pick.
I'm keeping tacos, obviously.
Yeah, I know you would, but pizza.
Love tacos. You know who's not that into tacos? Grammy. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, yummy. I do like all 3 of those things. Legend MM600. Cool shirt, Roxy. So hot. Love you. There you go. Thank you, Legend.
Wait.
You said a cool shirt.
Legend. So appreciate you, but I'm in a ribbed tank top.
He likes it.
You like my shirt? Thank you. I've had it since I was 15.
There you go. More support. Cool as a dry pickle. Long-time listener, first-time commenting. Thank you. Love your style and the team you built. Thank you so much. Big fan of the reactions. Looking forward to Sam and Lord of the Rings reaction. Me too.
A dry pickle would suck.
You know, if we ever get to them, because like I thought we were gonna get to them at the beginning of July, but now the audience is really determined to have Sam watch Agatha. So we're gonna do Agatha. I mean, I can't even tell you how many comments was like, you got to have her do Agatha. You got to do. And they were all, respectful.
I loved Agatha.
Yeah, I'd like it too. But I did it.
The show, Ryan Nelson, he was in post on that.
He was, and also he was in. He came back. He saw we did She-Hulk, and he came back in. I felt bad that he had to watch us take a big poop on it. Crystal, Roxy, it looks so good. Watch out, Love Island bombshells. There you go.
Those are people they bring into the island, Kristian, that are very hot to try to make the men step out on the women.
Oh,
and vice versa.
Maybe I'll watch an episode. Armada, Roxy, have you watched the Romero Zombies franchise?
Is it called Of the Dead or whatever?
Yeah, there's a few of them. Day of the Dead.
No, I haven't seen them.
You should see some. More support from Crystal. Tons of it here.
Woo, Crystal, woo, Crystal, woo.
Just going to highlight it until we get to the next question, but she's put in a ton of those. Mike Joyce, Roxy, Love Island or MILF Manor, which is zanier?
MILF Manor zanier because
Okay.
the premise of the show, if you don't remember, it's moms date their sons.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
Weird.
It's really weird. A lot of support from Crystal today. And the pickle comes back in. Support for Roxy. Keep those TV picks coming. She's been doing it for quite a while. Years.
Will do. Yeah.
Years. Crystal D. I really hope they do X-Men right. I feel like they will, Crystal. I feel like they're going to do it right. I feel like we're going to get a good version of it to launch us into the MCU for sure. Nathan Drake. What's up, Nathan? I honestly don't think big name actors matter in animated movies anymore. I don't remember any of the actors in Elemental, but I still love that movie. It's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very fair point. Pickle comes back in. Kristian, why cut out Werewolf by Night? I'm not cutting it out. I'm just not doing it right now. I'll do it. Probably do it closer to Halloween.
You could do it anytime. It's not relevant.
That's the main.
I liked it.
I did too. I like that. I'm actually interested to see it again. But it has nothing to do with anything we're watching right now. And I want to get to like Lord of the Rings and other things right now, so I can push that back. In the same, like Daredevil's another one, the Netflix series. I'm going to push it back. We'll get to it eventually. It's just not something that I need to do right now. Crystal, more support.
Woo!
Yeah, tons of it from Crystal today, Roxy. I think she's pushing you. She's coming back strong. She thought Roku did 165, and she's determined. Joey Pedras, 163. I think we need to get Love Island canceled.
It's like the most popular show ever. It crushes for Peacock, and I understand why I can't look away. But what are the rules?
I don't know. Nathan Drake, I'm with Joey. Cancel Love Island. And then Mike Joyce says, I think I need to check it out. People want to check it out. Crystal.
I know.
Yep.
Crystal.
That's it. Crystal. Answer is probably not. But Kristian, would you ever react to Downton Abbey or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Once Upon a Time.
No.
Oh, that one I'll do.
This was the show with like all of the fairy tale characters.
Oh, I know what that show is. It was very popular.
It was very popular. I covered it.
Yeah, I remember I did an interview with that cast for Fandango, actually, and it did very, very well, that interview.
In Hollywood? No.
Yeah, no. So no, I probably wouldn't, but it's but you never say never. You never know. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
Let's see what else. More support from Crystal. Thank you.
Crystal.
Lots of Crystal support here today, Roxy. Kristian unpronounceable support. He throws in more support. Crystal throws in more support.
Thank you, Crystal. Crystal heard. Crystal was like, oh, and apparently Kristian, hell yeah, they heard that I was one of the longest streaks, and they were like, no, not today, Junior.
I know. Armada, sing a song along. Okay. Crystal, support.
Sing a song.
Martin Kove bit Alicia Kim at a con. For why? He says he was joking around. We really just don't know. Crystal, support. Mirjam, support. Kristian says, I know I keep harping on this, but please watch The Man from Earth. I love you, Kristian and Roxy. I keep forgetting.
What is that?
I don't remember. That's the thing. It's even though it's like that's the thing is that people will say you got to watch this. You got to watch it. It's like Roxy says it to me all the time, and Roxy's on my show.
And people who say I keep harping on this, you're never harping on it. You're never annoying us. We forget.
Yeah, we forget. And like Roxy, how many times Roxy said you got to watch this, and it's like, still
stick.
Yeah, see, I had to tell Roxy to watch Shogun. Crystal with the support. Is that true, Roxy, or no?
It's not.
No. Doe Eyes. Animation is like milk. Is for babies. Beat Roka. There you go. Jake saw Jurassic World Rebirth last night. Definitely goes back closer to the franchise roots. A ride with many tense moments. No stupid bug plot. Well, there you go. Okay, I like that. It's got to be better than the last one. Support from Crystal. Alan Smithy had just received Chris Columbus' personal 35mm prints of Harry Potter 2 and Nosferatu, which he actually produced. Wow. They're in my office right now. That's right. The creator of the Truffle Shuffle. That's pretty cool. That's really cool, Alan. I love that. How fun is that? Crystal with some more support. What a fun one that was, Alan. Mike's Movie Madness. Roxy, why is it when an actress reaches her mid to late 30s, she suddenly is cast as a mom with an almost full-grown child? I mean, come on.
Because Hollywood.
No, I don't think that's always the case anymore. I think
it's changing.
Yeah, it's changing. Crystal.
I'll tell you, I'm in my mid 30s. I'm 33. I'm about to be 34. So that's mid 30s, right? I'm in my mid 30s, and all my auditions are for still people in their 20s. So I think it also kind of depends on like life experience and what you're going out for.
I can't wait to give you that look that I'm going to give you in the show. It's going to be really fun.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited for that too. I told my manager about that. I was like, I'm really excited because he told me blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He was like, "That's cool. That's the shit that I love. That's why I'm an actress."
100%. Joe Mama's Pizza. Roxy, I love Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm. You?
I wish I was in that.
You love that.
I loved it too. I recommended it on the show a few times.
Yeah. Support from Crystal. Chris Melick reacts. Hey, Kristian and Roxy. Kristian, I know you haven't checked out the Weapons trailer yet. Have you watched it, Roxy? It looks like it's going to be good. People are talking about this movie, man.
What is this?
It's a Warner Brothers movie, but I can't remember who is in it. But because I keep hearing more and more about it, I don't want to know anything about it.
Huh.
I want to just see it. So that's the whole point. Crystal, support.
Josh Brolin and Julia Garner. Julia Garner is one of my favorite actresses.
So there you go.
Oh, and Alden Ehrenreich.
All right. Unknown. Roxy, who's your least favorite and favorite Islander?
Ooh. Okay. Well, like the most cool and normal are Shelley and Alandria. I think my least favorite is probably Ace because he just thinks he knows everything. He's 22 and he's like convincing all these couples to split up and he's non-committal and he just like bothers me, but he's also so fun to watch. So it's hard to say, Kristian,
I do. Armada. One name to remember, Seaman Kinberg. Yep, absolutely. Support from Crystal. Ian Davis. Always been curious, where do the super chats go? Where's the channel support being utilized? Great question. Also, what is the bonus for who wins the week for super chat questions? Well, that is for the staff or the hosts and myself. That part you don't get. The first part though, always been curious, where do these?
It's so weird how comfortable people are asking how much other people make for a living. No offense to Ian.
No offense to Ian, but that part you don't get. The first part, always been curious, where did the super chats go? Well, first of all, super chats, as Roxy has asked many times over, super chats, YouTube takes a hefty chunk in it. They take a hefty piece of it. The channel support, though, great question. Okay, so every one of my hosts, obviously, for their time, gets paid. So a lot of it goes to them, plus the bonus on the person who wins that week. I have editors all week for my for the reactions. Hefty thing goes there. I have people who run Patreon. I have people who produce. I have people who do shorts. I have people that do, those types of things. It goes into the running separate channels. It goes into all of this. It goes into the studio costs. It goes into equipment. It goes into everything to help run a business. That's where it goes. Everything is, like I said, when we just did the redo for the studio, lights, things like that. It's like if you want to improve things, you have to you spend money to make money. The same thing. And and I was able to bring Chris Carr on. To add somebody new. I was only doing 4 shows a week, and just doing one by myself. I brought in another host because that's what we were doing. So that's where it all just kind of trickles in, and there's other things too, obviously, but a lot of that stuff. That's kind of where it goes. I don't know if I'm sure I'm missing other things, but like
to you also
into me and my family and stuff too. Sure, of course. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Crystal.
Thanks, Crystal.
Simon Section. Kristian, looking forward to your student Netflix 28. Oh yeah, thank you. I don't know if it's a student, but Netflix 28 Minutes, the Vera Jason project. Thank you. Love to see your version of the baseball cap scene.
What?
For the pilot I'm working on.
Oh.
Yeah, looking forward to but I know what he means by student, but he means like
student Netflix.
He's saying basically it's me doing it it's like a guerrilla shoot, basically, or like rogue shoot.
Student Netflix is such a weird. Okay, cool, Simon.
Love to see your version of the baseball cap scene, and Roxy being the no asshole or something, but it's not what you think. Well, she's her role. We already talked about it. She's going to nail it. It's going to be pretty great. I already wrote a scene that I could see her doing easily. Support from Crystal. Noah Sparks. Could Pixar's recent shift in art style, like Ilio, be turning some audiences away, even if the animation is still great overall? I just think it's just not. That magic isn't there yet. They got to capture the magic back.
I don't think it's the style. I think it's the stories.
Yeah, I do too. I agree. More support from Crystal. Hank Pym. Roxy, do you think Yellow Jackets would be better if it was just the past story? I'm always bored by the current day stuff, and it spoils the past story a lot.
No. I don't think it would be better, but I do think that they could strike a better balance. I think one of the really cool parts of the show is watching the older and younger versions of them. But we revealed a lot early on of who's still alive and who's not. So it does lower some of the stakes when we go back. So I get why you are asking me this, Hank.
Support from Crystal. Mike's movie madness. Sometimes I'm perplexed by by Roka's criticism of Gunn. At times it comes off as warranted and logical, and others as jealousy and just grasping at straws. Hey, look, bring it back up on Monday. He'll talk to you about it. But we discussed that yesterday.
I hear you.
At quite a long time. More support from Crystal as she's throwing in more.
Go Crystal, go
over the edge. Nathan Drake. I'm not excited for Nia DaCosta doing the 28-year sequel, but I am excited to see more of Jack O'Connell. He's been killing it lately. I love Jack O'Connell. I think he was great in Sinners. He was good in the part that he was in for 28 years later, and I think he'll be great. I'm with you on the Nia DaCosta thing. Not anything against her. I didn't love the Marvels. I just think that Danny Boyle is.
Did you love Candyman?
I didn't see it, but but 28 years later, to me, that Danny Boyle's style was as much of a star as anybody else was in that movie, and I think he'll be missed.
I'm with you. I'm really excited about this, especially because of the end of the movie. But I'm not a huge Nia DaCosta fan.
Right.
I didn't like Candyman, and I didn't love the Marvels. So I would really love to love a movie of hers. Maybe this will be it.
Sounds good. Crystal, I heard what you said. You said you're a fan of Candyman, and you're hoping it's to be good. Close. Crystal, support Hank Pym. I miss James Franco. Dave's doing good, though. Dave was great in the studio. Great.
He's great everywhere. Speaking of canceled people that might be making a comeback, I'm kind of surprised that James Franco's been canceled for as long as he is.
He will. I wonder if him and Seth Rogen over makeup. That'll be interesting.
I don't think so.
No, huh?
But it was interesting seeing Dave with Seth. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know, but not one of them has come out in support of him. So
yeah. Crystal, not sure if we can win the week, but we tried.
Go Crystal, go Crystal, go.
More support. Ryan S. wore a Superman shirt to Rockefeller yesterday, and people kept commenting, "Don't fly around up on the roof, Superman. Are you excited for the new movie?" I think the movie's going to be big. It's going to be huge. People are excited about this movie. There's hype behind it.
People kept commenting, "Don't fly around up on the roof, Superman." Multiple people said that too.
I guess so. I guess it's part of some of the comments that he got.
That would be hysterical.
The hype is there, though, for this movie.
For sure.
Yeah. Crystal with some more support.
Go Crystal, go Crystal, go. Go Crystal, go Crystal.
A lot of that. And then so many. Danny O'Malley. Great show. Great duo, as always. First time super chat. Thank you. Roka can't win. Is Mike the Tank on tomorrow? He's not on tomorrow. He's going to probably be on Thursday, I assume. I always hear from him. It's
Chris Carr.
Yes, tomorrow's Chris Carr. And Brett. Brett will be on tomorrow. Brett's coming in tomorrow.
I miss him.
I know. He'll be on tomorrow. Matt Krugman. Roxy, corn or flour tortillas?
Flour.
Crystal, are you excited for Big Brother, Roxy?
Insanely. Yes. Love it.
Show's still on, huh?
Every summer.
Okay. Joey Pedras. Roxy, have you listened to the new Haim album?
No. And I love Haim, so I definitely will. They're awesome. And
did you this has nothing to do with Haim, but have we talked about the Bruce Springsteen trailer? We did, right? Last week?
I don't know. I've definitely talked about it, and you've definitely talked about it. Did we talk about it together? I don't know.
We talked about it together.
No, it dropped after our show.
Okay, it was like images or something. Right. So you loved it, right?
Loved.
Yeah, can't wait. Mark Jason Ali. We Were Liars was cool. Didn't read the book, but you'll like it. Emily Allen Lind is a treasure. Hope all goes well for the weekend.
That's the third one for We Were Liars.
No, you got to go check it out. PLD. Team Gunn, Team J-Lo, Team Crystal, Team Roxy. PLD yesterday donated like 3 questions to Roka, and he's helping you. Roka. Armada, favorite Jason Segel movie. I really like. What's the one that? I guess is it. I Love You, Man. Is a good one.
I thought you loved Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I was going to say Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Also, I have to go back and rewatch both of those and to tell you which one I like more. But yeah.
I this is such a cheat in not answering your question, but my favorite Jason Segel things are How I Met Your Mother and Shrinking.
Yeah, right.
So,
Matt Krugman, Christian, The Departed or Prisoners? Look, Prisoners is great, but it's not touching The Departed.
Prisoners is so good, but
Right.
you're sitting with a Boston girl and they're asking you this question. Wild.
Yeah, I've talked about how much I like them a lot, but yeah, The Departed for sure. And Roxy's going to say the same. Crystal, love the Doctor Who finale. By the way, I'm in the minority.
You are in the minority. People really didn't like that finale.
Hated it, huh? I
didn't watch it, but
couldn't tell you anything.
But this, Crystal DW fan is Crystal Doctor Who fan.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, there you go. Cool as a dry pickle. Someone said you are pushing too many reactions too fast, and I say keep them coming. Who said that? I hope not. Any chance Brett will go back to do reactions sometime? We almost got him to do one when he was here, but he just was so busy with the studio. But yeah. As far as I didn't hear too many people say. I mean, shit, the Real Rejects put one out at like 2 or 3 a day.
Yeah,
I put out like what?
We just got a new studio.
That's awesome. Where they moved out of Greg's place?
Yeah, we it's got 3 studios in it. I mean, they're annihilating.
Great.
I just went for the first time yesterday.
That's great.
It is an hour and a half from where we live.
Oh no, that's not fun. No, that's not fun. Crystal, support
past where we used to work.
Oh no, it's past. Wow. Okay, it's a deep. Jason Trenner, Roxy, I loved your Carrie reaction.
Thanks, man. Boy and I did this. I had never seen Carrie.
Oh wow, I haven't seen it in a long time.
Oh my god, the opening to it, Kristian. Do you remember with the period?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's old. Support from Crystal. Let's see.
Crystal, go.
A lot of that too. And then, where are we at right now? We're at Crystal again. I'm worried for Fantastic Four. I hope it does well. I think it'll do well.
This is the first time anybody's ever sent it in where I was like, oh, do you mean F1?
And I did that last time. Yeah, support from Chris. And Chris Malick reacts. Just wanted to show some extra love for Roxy and Crystal. I can't wait for the Odyssey trailer. And it's right around the corner. That's like next week now.
Really?
Yeah, they said they're going to show before Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. It's probably going to be epic. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Crystal with some more support. Thank you. And then Cool as a dry pickle. Will you see Werewolf in color or black and white? I didn't even know it was in color. No, I will never watch it in color. It was meant to be in black and white. I'll watch it in black and white. Greenie from Oz. You're a champion, Roxy. Recently watched the She-Jack series. Freddie, Chucky, Jason. Awesomeness.
Yeah, we did all of those. By far and away, my favorite, that was Chucky. I love the Chucky franchise.
Unknown. I'm in the military, and world events are making me nervous. I can understand that. Your show has been a great escape, and I just want to say thank you. Well, thank you. And
thank you for your service.
And thank you.
For your safety.
Ian Davis, same. Yes. Ian Davis, what is the best trilogy that actually ended? Lord of the Rings has to be one. I mean, that's what other trilogies ended?
Trilogy that's actually ended.
Yeah. I mean, does
Lord of the Rings count? I mean, then they did a whole prequel.
Had the Hobbit, but it's the books, like, I mean, you could make the argument. Yeah, it's hard. That's a hard question.
I feel like Lord of the Rings ended the same way that Star Wars ended.
Right, because then it went back into the prequel. Yeah, but it's based on books. I don't. It's tough.
The Before Sunset trilogy.
A lot of people say that. I don't know. That one's too tough of a question. I always say the original trilogy as a trilogy. Matt Krugman, The Departed or Goodfellas? Goodfellas. Roxy, where would you go with that?
I think probably Goodfellas, but it's like I haven't rewatched Goodfellas in a long time, and I rewatch Departed all the time. So,
Tyler Pfeiffer, Battle of Boston, The Departed or The Town?
No question for me. The Departed.
Ooh, it's a tough one, but I would say The Departed. I like The Town a lot, but yeah, The Departed.
How do you feel about Blake's accent?
Oh, you know what? I got to go back and watch it. It's not as to you. It's the same way. Yes, it's the same way that when a New York accent bothers me. I totally get it.
It is like hard to listen to.
For you, who is someone that you think is not from Boston who did a great Boston accent? I have my answer to the New York one like that.
We don't have that many. The worst one was most recently on the season of Reacher, the British girl who did a Boston accent the whole time, and I was like, God damn it, you're a really good actress. This is the worst accent I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
Who not from Boston even can I think of who's done a Boston accent?
Yeah, that was good. I'll tell you who the best New York accent still to this day, that I know that I recognize is Jonah Hill in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he's really good.
It sounds like everybody I went to high school with.
I think his parents are from there, right?
Maybe. And Margot Robbie's wasn't bad, by the way. Wasn't bad. Leonardo DiCaprio's wasn't really anything. Derek Johnson gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Derek. Derek coming in hot with the memberships. Just kidding. 10 more memberships.
Whoa.
Thank you, Derek. Spidey Sensei, why can't you play Uno with Donald Trump? Because he takes all the green cards. Oh, no, Spidey. Tyler Pfeiffer. Sean Hot Fuzz World's End is up there. Too. Yeah.
What was the question?
Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and World's End is up there too. Those are 3 good ones. But I don't think those are. But they're not all. Are they all? But they're not the same characters.
I watched Hot Fuzz back in the day. Haven't seen it in a long time, and the other ones I haven't seen.
Yeah. All right, Roxy.
Yeah.
We still have 10 minutes left.
Okay.
But we've come to an end thus far.
Oh, this is the end, my only friend. What
do you think? How close do you think you are to Roka?
Honestly, I appreciate everyone's support so much today, but I think Crystal did this for us.
Roka's at 163. Nathan Drake just put in another one. My favorite Boston movie, Gone Baby Gone. It's a great movie.
Excellent movie.
It's a great movie. Greenie from Oz. Yo, Roxy, next series for She-Jax might be the Texas Chainsaw, and then go Aussie and do Wolf Creek.
I saw Texas Chainsaw, and
first one, it's creepy.
I don't know what Wolf Creek is.
Yeah.
What's Wolf Creek?
I don't remember. I don't know Wolf Creek. I don't know that.
What's your favorite Boston movie?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's so tough. I mean, Departed's up there. When will we get the next Apes movie? It's good. Hold on. Let me think about that, Roxy. When will we get the next Apes movie? I mean, it's a great question. I think the last one did decent, right? So I'm hoping within the next 2 or 3 years. And then we get Marcus M. I'm disappointed that Coogler's doing Black Panther 3 and X-Files next. I want more original films from him. I can't say that I disagree with you. I want to see him do more stuff. But the same thing, Marcus.
What's happening with X-Files?
I guess he's just doing. Is he doing a movie or is he doing a show?
I don't know.
The show. I'm not sure, but this is
because if you're doing X-Files, there's so much original that you could do. Yeah.
And him producing it, yeah, that's fine. But look, here's the thing: is because I say the same thing all the time, Marcus. I say it all the time about Ryan Coogler. I want to see him do more things like Sinners and other things. He's a young dude. He's a young dude. I mean, Christopher Nolan is young for a director. He's 55 or 56 or whatever he is. Ryan Coogler's like 36 or something, 37, whatever he is. He's late 30s. So
didn't we hear he's doing a Sinners too?
They said that they want a Sinners too. I don't know if they're going to do one.
This is what the internet says. Ryan Coogler is developing a reboot of the classic sci-fi series, The X-Files. He has confirmed that the reboot will be his next project following the film Sinners. He's mentioned that he's speaking with Gillian Anderson, obviously Dana Scully. He has expressed excitement about the project. It's really fucking scary, he said. Makes sense. I think this is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, me too. Ian Davis, sorry to put too tough a question about the trilogies. 3 Star Wars versus 3 Lord of the Rings versus 3 Matrix. And if you could throw into isolate 3 movies, I guess what they just said, the Cornetto trilogy, but I just always thought that it was like separate things. I mean, Godfather, but the third one just kind of throws it out. No, Toy Story is not Toy Story 3 anymore. I don't know, it's so tough. I used to say Bourne, but now Bourne has like 5 movies in it. So yeah, they all like.
Yeah, and then we said John Wick, and then it got more.
Right. Mike Schmurf. I love this name, Mike Schmurf. I always love Roxy shows. What's a movie you guys?
Oh, Mike, that's really nice.
The first time you saw, but it grew on you. It's over time. For me, it's Meet Joe Black. You have the same answer as Guardians 2.
I don't know what mine is. I'm looking at best trilogies though, and they really fudge some of these.
Yeah.
They said Clerks, Mallrats, and Chasing Amy. How are we gonna call that?
Can't. Right, because it keeps going. No, there's more. It's
you know what?
What?
Oh, I don't know.
How to Train Your Dragon, I guess. 1, 2, and 3. Right.
But now there's I guess maybe
live action. Well, that's just a remake of the first one. But yeah, I would the first 3. All right, so that's one. And what would you say about Mike's question, Roxy?
I don't know. This is the same question that we got kind of earlier about the second watch, but I can't think of one right now.
Okay. Hola. Hello there. Do you watch this Old House? I love their accents. What's Old House?
This Old House. When somebody phrases it like that, it makes me think it's a TV show, but I don't know it. This Old House. Okay, This Old House is a reality show with 46 seasons.
Yeah.
Started in 1979.
Okay.
It's a carpentry show. It's on PBS. That's cool.
That's cool.
Remy loves that kind of stuff.
They keep coming in, Rox. They keep coming in. I'll let you go.
Keep rolling.
6 minutes left. Nathan Drake. I hope Roxy wins this week. Support for a Roxy calendar with appearance from Big Balls, of course. Would you do a calendar with Big Balls?
No.
Ian Davis. Roxy, please just give us anything on the movie you filmed in London. Anything?
Thank you. I can tell you guys that I shot a movie in London. My scenes are with Kate Beckinsale, which is really cool.
Really cool, yeah.
Yep, that's really cool. And that I know, you guys don't know, but I know when and where you'll be able to see it.
Oh, shoot.
So that's cool.
I know what I'm going to find out off air. Greenie from Oz. Wolf Creek is the best of the best when it comes to Aussie horror. It's like when Mad Max kicked off the state, deciding to put state funding into movies. Oh, there you go. So Wolf Creek, Roxy.
I've never heard of that.
Well, now you have.
All right, Wolf Creek.
Okay. So now again, 5 minutes left, and we'll see if anybody's going to do any more there or not. But Roxy,
you just put up LOL for no reason. You laughing at me, Kristian?
Yep.
You laughing at me?
Well, every time I go about to tell you what we're at, Marcus M. Roxy, have you seen the Urban Legend film series?
What is that? Kristian, what is that?
Urban Legend? You never seen that? You never seen Urban Legend? All those movies? Oh,
what are they called?
Urban Legend.
Oh no, then if they're called Urban Legend, then no.
Check it out. That's a good one.
What is it?
It's an old 90s franchise. I think.
What kind, like action?
Oh no, that's The Faculty, the one that Josh Hartnett's in. But it's horror. It's horror.
Oh, horror.
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Yeah, you should check it out. Tyler Pfeiffer. An episode of Always Sunny this year is going to be about Frank on The Golden Bachelor. I can't wait. Is that true?
I can't believe that I didn't even mention Always Sunny as summer shows. I've been talking about it. It's my number one most anticipated show
on the air.
It's so good. And they're doing their Abbott Elementary crossover. I'm so excited. Right.
So Ian asked this twice, so I'm going to highlight it twice. Will Roxy's movie be released in theaters?
Oh, thanks for the question. I can't answer that here, but I can say that you guys will be able to see it.
Okay, there you
go.
Which
is very cool for me. Yeah. I'm so excited about this. Keep in mind, guys, because I don't want to overhype my participation in it. I am in, if they keep all of my scenes, I'm in 4 scenes.
4 scenes.
So
that's good. Greenie from Oz. Ask Greg about Wolf Creek, Roxy. Okay.
All right.
Right
now?
Not right now. 3 minutes left before we end. So you have not won in quite a while. Roka has not won in quite a while. So the question is, will one of you beat
the other?
Capes and Cowls this week and knock them off their...
What did Capes and Cowls do last week?
120, 130, something like that. 130, something like that. Roka did better than them this week on it, but Tyler, they got Jesse Palmer to do his role on the show as well.
Do you know who that is?
Jesse Palmer? Yes.
The host of The Bachelor?
Yeah, it's hilarious that they got him to do that. Is that... Well, it makes sense because it's a Hulu show, right?
Well, it's FX, yeah.
And it's connected to ABC, which is connected to The Bachelor. So that makes sense that they would do that. That makes sense.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what doesn't make sense is I don't know that he's from Philly. Is he from Philadelphia?
No, it doesn't matter, though, because he's going to be
on. No, but you don't watch Always Sunny, so you don't know. I'm just saying they always do things with like the celebs that are from.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
You don't know.
I'm sorry. Daniel O'Malley, Roxy, can you say what horrors are next on Real Rejects? Fingers crossed some Halloween or Screams, but you probably have watched those.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say, and I just signed another NDA yesterday. So
with Real Rejects? They have NDAs? Really?
Yeah. A new studio, and we were sharing space with somebody else, so it was like part of the new whatever it was. But I don't even know. Maybe that was not. Maybe my NDA says I shouldn't have said that I signed it.
Perfect.
But so I can't tell you what, but I will say whenever you're trying to figure out what horror movies we're going to do, look at the new franchises in horror that are coming out, and then we do those leading up to the
I'm sure you guys are going to do Megan because I just did Megan, so it makes sense.
So things like that, right? Like if you look at seeing that, like when Final Destination was coming out, that you lead up to that. When I Know What You Did Last Summer is coming out, when Megan coming out, like usually we try to time things accordingly.
Yep. Roxy, we're at 2 hours now. So like I said, you are going to be the one to beat this week. You're currently at 229.
229.
229 is the number. Poor Roka
That is a big old number.
Roka had an incredible number yesterday.
I'm gonna be super bummed if I lose this week with pulling in that number.
It'd be crazy if you do, because you've got now Chris Carr is going to have to try to beat that. She's very well liked. Steph and Mike are going to be back together on Thursday. They got a shot. And then Capes and Cowls, can they do it? But I lied to you. I'm just kidding. You don't have 229. You have 230. Greenie from Oz. When are you moving to New York, Rox? Oh my God. Then she have to sign NDAs with me.
Quite literally never, unless I book something that shoots in New York, and then I would love to live there for a little bit.
Take that, Roka, says Crystal. Crystal did it again. Crystal did it. You beat poor Roka twice. Roka was confident. I was confident in Roka yesterday.
Can I tell you something?
Second I saw Crystal show up, I knew he was screwed, though.
I'm not trying to downplay Crystal's involvement today because
it wasn't just
Crystal absolutely crushed. But without Crystal, we swept the floor with him. Without Crystal today, would we have even still beaten him?
I don't know. Without Crystal, I don't know if you would have beaten him. But it doesn't matter.
This is him.
I mean, that's also like saying without Derek, yesterday would Roka have
right. No. And I don't want to live in a world without Crystal. So
so there you go. Crystal comes back, and Crystal takes Roxy to two and everybody else to 231 on the show today. Now, can Chris Carr have an amazing performance tomorrow? Can Steph and Mike have one? Can the Capes and Cowls do 5 in a row and take out their biggest deficit so far in Roxy Striar? That's what we'll find out. But thank you guys so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. Roxy, where can they find you?
You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roxy Striar, and that's where you can find me.
Make sure you head on over to that Clips channel. No time codes. Clips channel. Go and check it out. Oh, wait. Do I have more coming out here?
No time code. Clip.
Thank you guys very much. So I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. We'll be back here tomorrow with both
Brett and Chris Carr.
Thank you. All right. Bye, everybody.
What?